What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. Today we are going to be discussing how much ammo do you really need for a grid down situation, WROL, SHTF, the end of the world as we know it, all the acronyms that you see all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever, okay? Before we get too deep into the video, guys, like and subscribe. I think only 35% or something of my constant viewers are actually subscribed to the channel, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. Additionally, the sponsor for today's video is going to be Palmetto State Armory and Right to Bear. Okay, huge shout out to Palmetto State Armory. They give us a link that gives us a little bit of kickback for every time y'all use the link in the description below. So use that. Check out their daily deal. They typically will have some sort of AR platform tied with the dagger or an AK platform tied with the dagger on the daily deal. That way you can pick up a weapon for a pair of weapons, a rifle and handgun for an awesome price, and it will work, guys. Additionally, Right to Bear, okay, if you need legal protection, if you have to protect yourself with that weapon that you just bought from Palmetto State Armory, you're defending yourself or the lives of your family, and you have to use that weapon in a defensive situation, well, they're going to offer unlimited legal protection to you. It's only $11 a month or $125 a year. Check the link in the description below. Additionally, the Patreon is live, guys. It is $5 a month, and it gives you direct access to the Discord channel, which will have buddies to game with and train with. Okay, if any of that interests you, check the description below. Okay, guys. So, what calibers do I recommend stocking up on? So, guys, the crux, I guess, of the video, or the general idea of the video, is you're stocking up for the end of the world. Okay, SHTF or whatever situation you think is going to happen. And you want to know how much ammo do you need to have available or on hand for that situation. Well, this is just kind of my thoughts into it. Just right off the rip, I recommend that what calibers I recommend you stock up on is going to be 9mm and 5.56. Now, I didn't follow that, my own advice, because I stocked up on 7.62 by 39, 12 gauge. I stocked up on some extra calibers. For a while, I had 45 ACP. I recommend you avoid all that excess, and I recommend you to stick with 9mm and 223/5.56. And the reason is that is the two most common rounds in the United States. There's going to be ammo everywhere, and for those of you that don't think there's going to be ammo everywhere, think about how many people own firearms and how much ammo everybody in the country has. Okay, just on average, there's going to be 5.56 and 223, 5.56 and 9mm everywhere. Okay, so those would be the two calibers I recommend. Avoid oddball ammo. Oddball is going to be like your 300 blackout. 308 is going to be readily available, okay, because the military uses it, and a lot of people are kind of grandfathered into 308 or 760 by 51. Same as 760 by 39. There's going to be a lot of 760 by 39. The oddball cartridges are going to be like your 300 blackouts or your 5.7 handgun ammo, or even like, I don't know, there's going to be like, stay away from ammo like that would be my advice. Like 38 special. 12 gauge will be readily available, but it's going to be heavier. That's why I'm just saying stick with 9mm and 5.56 for your the weight to cost ratio. You're going to be better off with 9mm and 5.56. Okay. Now going into that, we're talking about parts and magazines. Okay. So as you're stocking up, you want to make sure that you keep things simple. Keep it as simple as you can. My advice would be, if you choose to run a Glock or a Shadow Systems, okay, buy 3 Glock 19s, the same thing, or 3 Shadow Systems MR 920s, and run the exact same everything. Same magazines, same belt kit, same everything. If you choose to run a Beretta M9A4 or something like that, then stock up on a ton of interchangeable parts and magazines that will go hand in hand for that. Try to avoid getting a SIG 320 and then buying a Glock 19. I try to avoid that. Get the same weapon and get a lot of supporting parts for that weapon, okay? And as you can see here, the reason I'm demonstrating this is I have broken my own rule, so now I've added additional complexity to my plan, right? I have a Shadow Systems MR 920 right here, okay? I have the M9A4, right, just for demonstration purposes, and on my hip, I have this Glock 43X. So there alone, 3 guns that I have just in the room alone for demonstration purposes for the video, all have different they all have the same caliber, right? They're all a 9mm, but they all take different supporting equipment, different holsters, different magazines, stuff like that. So I recommend you don't do what I've done, right? You keep it simple. Either pick a Glock platform, M9, even if you choose 2011, okay, but you need to be able to buy 3 of them, okay. So whatever you pick, okay, if you pick M9, I would recommend getting 3 of them. Beretta full size and 2 mid size would probably be a good choice, or you can do an M9A1, an M9A4, and then another M9A1 would probably be a good idea. Just make sure everything you get has interchangeable parts and magazines, as well as holsters, guys. Okay, so keep it simple is going to be a big part of your plan for ammo. This is all going to tie into how much ammo do you need. Okay, so let's answer that question. So at any given time, you should be able to, and this is not loaded in mags. Okay, so everything I say today, if it's loaded in a magazine, okay, it doesn't count. It's no longer part of the conversation. So I recommend 5,000 rounds minimum at any given time, not loaded into magazines. So right now, everyone here watching this video, you should have 7 magazines loaded for your rifle and 5 magazines loaded for your go to war handgun right now. So that count doesn't count. So 210 rounds plus your however many rounds that is for your handgun, those rounds don't count. Okay, so you need to have 5,000 rounds minimum of rifle and handgun. And why do I say that? Okay, I say that because it's going to be, and we're going to talk about it, but that's going to be kind of like your safety net. That's going to give you enough to be able to replenish multiple times if you do have to use the weapon for defensive engagements. And hopefully you're not involved in very many, because every time you're involved in any sort of engagement, it lowers your life expectancy drastically. Okay, so 5,000 rounds minimum at any given time for rifle and pistol. Now that's your minimum. If you can afford it, if you're balling out of control right now, you need to up that to 10,000. Okay, 10,000 5.56 rounds and 10,000 9mm rounds is going to be a really good amount. But I would say, and we're going to talk about why, I would say use your common sense, because there will be tons of ammo if you survive the initial craziness, the initial few months of just grid down situation. There's going to be a lot of ammo lying around, guys. If you're one of the lucky ones to survive this, the Covenant dropship coming in and everyone, or the flood coming in and killing everybody. Quick Halo reference there. If you survive all this stuff, then there's going to be a lot of ammo laying around, but you do need enough as a safety net to survive the initial craziness. Okay, guys. So yeah, there will be tons of ammo lying around. You can use ammo to barter. All right. So a lot of you guys that don't have ammunition or don't have food, water, or supporting equipment, body armor, helmets, a way to purify water, wet weather gear, good socks, good boots, a good pack. Okay, you can barter for stuff like that. Ammo is going to be ammo is what I view as going to be the future currency, as well as batteries and other things that are going to be less plentiful. Okay, the less gunfights you get in, the higher chance of survival. Okay, but with that being said, as you're prepping for your ammo, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to be going out like John Wick and getting into gunfights. That's a bad idea. It's a good way to get killed, because every time you're in a gunfight, it's going to drastically reduce your chance of overall survival. It's kind of common sense, but just think about that. Let's see. Yep. Community. Okay, guys. Part of your community considerations needs to be, everyone should be running the same caliber. If you have a buddy that's running AKM with 7.62x39, everybody else is running 5.56, that's going to be a problem in the long run. And on that note, let's get into how to store. So once you actually start preparing for your ammo, you want to keep your stuff, or ammo preparations, you want to keep your ammo in a dry area, preferably in the AC, okay, in the shade as well. And what I do is every time I fill at least 2 cans at any given time. Okay? This has 9mm, 124 grain full metal jacket stuff. Okay, and what I do is I just dump it in the can. Okay, and that way I can just grab the can, I label it with a marker, just 9mm. Okay, or you can label it with painter's tape. Dump a whole can in. That way you can easily grab a can and it's easily labeled. More so for training. Is kind of on that note, it's going to be more for training. It's ease of use to go to and from the range, but if you're doing some sort of crazy operation or bug out, label your cans and make sure you can get to them effectively and that they're topped off. There you go. So that is how I store my stuff. As I was saying, community, make sure everyone's running the same type of weapon and the same type of caliber. Um, Food. All right, let's talk about. So let's say you have your 5,000 rounds of handgun and rifle ammo, and you feel comfortable. Okay, well now you need to start thinking about your food preparations, your water preparations, your body armor, your helmet, your night vision, stuff like that. Okay, guys. Just having ammo isn't enough. Now is when you start to actually think about getting a good pack, getting a community, start getting some training. And I know a lot of you guys are going to get mad, but this it always comes back to training. It's going to always come back to training and physical fitness because there are people that are going to watch this video and they are not necessarily going to be the good guys. They're going to be the scavs. Okay, the scavengers of the WROL situation. They're going to be having their Mosin Nagant with 20 rounds, and all that takes is one round to take you out of the fight. So, in order to take out those dirtbag scavs, right, you're going to need a good community, some good PT, and some good gear. And you're going to want to move at night, guys. You're going to want to move under night vision. You're going to want to have that group of 10 people to cover your back. Because if you have 20,000 rounds in the safe, but you don't have any training, no physical fitness, you can't run a mile, you can't move some weights around, oh, you're going to be a, a loot drop for that person watching this video that has no formal training, that's sitting around waiting for you to make a mistake, guys. It's true. They are out here. They are watching this video, and it's just a reality of the situation. You need to have better training, better equipment, and you need to be smarter and be outmaneuvering the dirtbag out there that's going to try to take you and take what is yours. Okay, guys. So don't get so fixated on the ammo. Don't get wrapped up in, oh, I need 20,000 rounds right now because Trench Grenade said I need a minimum 5,000, but I'm balling. No, if you fit your 10,000 round threshold and you can afford to keep buying ammo, fine, that's awesome. Uh, Definitely invest in ammo, but make sure you have the supporting training, physical fitness, and equipment to actually enable you to be mission successful and not be a liability. Because guys, the reality of the situation is it only takes one ricochet, one stray round, okay, to hit you. One hand grenade, with a little bit of shrapnel, and you're out of the fight. And all that ammo sitting in the safe, you'll probably be thinking about the investment of money and time is going to be huge. Okay, guys. So I'm not trying to beat a dead horse too much, but I can't stress this enough. I'd rather have 10 well-trained, poorly equipped people that have maybe they have, hey, I'll take 10 guys and all they have is a Mosin Nagant, right? But they know how to shoot, move, communicate. They have body armor on. They know how to effectively reload, talk to each other, actually lay down suppressing fire. I'll take those 10 guys rather than one CAG, SF, whatever special operator. But or some guy with all the best gear in the world but doesn't know how to do anything. Okay, guys, just think about that community. A way to have a base of fire and a way to maneuver two elements is always going to beat having a billion rounds in the safe, guys. So just keep those things in mind as you're making your preparations, as you're stockpiling millions of rounds or whatever you got going on. Make sure you build a community. Make sure those guys and gals in your community are physically fit, and make sure their moral compass aligns with your moral compass. Because when the WROL or the whatever happens, the alien invasion and the dropships happen, you need to make sure that's not the time to be making sure that, oh, we're on the same page and do we have the same moral beliefs? Because some people are going to be out there trying to take others' stuff, right? Instead of just trying to protect their family, there's going to be people that are going out there and trying to actively seek out violence. Okay, so don't seek out violence, guys. We're not here to do that. We are here to protect our families and our communities. We are the good guys. We are not the dirtbag scavenger out there trying to make loot drops out of people. But that's why we move at night under night vision, and that is why we have superior training and superior equipment and superior physical fitness. All right, guys, if you enjoyed today's discussion, just a quick in summary, okay, calibers I recommend 9mm and 5.56. Avoid oddball cartridges like 30-06 or 300 blackout or 45-70. Okay, avoid those oddball cartridges. Stick with the basics. Pick one platform. Okay, if it's an AR, pick AR and get a bunch. If it's a Glock, pick a Glock and get a bunch of supporting equipment. If it's a Beretta, get a Beretta, get a bunch of supporting equipment. Pick what you're gonna pick, but then get 3 of them. Okay, grab an AR, then grab 2 more, the same exact thing. That way you have interchanging parts. Same thing with your handgun. Pick one and then have 2 additional, okay? 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is better. 5,000 rounds minimum at any given time. 10,000 is definitely preferred, but if you have to get other equipment, then 5,000 is going to be your baseline for both your handgun and your rifle, not including ammo loaded in mags. There will be tons of ammo if you survive, okay? So survive the initial few months, and your odds of survival long term will go up. There'll be more ammo laying around, guys. Just think about how many people have ammo and weapons across this country and across the world. Make sure you're physically fit. You can actually carry the amount of ammo that you plan to stockpile. Less gunfights equal more survival. It's common sense, but every time, don't be out there trying to actively get in a gunfight because it only takes 1 round, okay? Every time you get, community, develop a community with like-minded people. Make sure your morals align, and make sure you all have the same calibers, generally speaking, with the same equipment, so you can support each other when something breaks, because stuff does break. Food, water, and gear are also going to be part of the how much ammo do I need is also going to be part of that conversation, guys. So once you have your 5,000 round baseline, you definitely need to start thinking about food, water, and gear. And I'm not talking about like Amazon gear. I want you to go out and actually get some good stuff. Buy once, cry once, and actually get some good wet weather gear, some good night vision, and good IR designator, stuff like that to actually keep you alive. A good water filter, okay, guys? And lastly, training. Make sure you get training. Make sure you run thousands and thousands of rounds of reps, both in dry fire and live fire, with your gear on. Okay, you don't have to run every rep in body armor and helmet, but you should run some of them. Okay, I'd say at least 50% of the time you should be running your drills on the flat range with your actual gear on that you're going to use, guys. Okay, so in summary, or to conclude this video, guys, buy ammo, but don't get obsessed with it. It is a barter tool, and it does enable you, but it is at the end of the day just a small piece of the pie. So don't get obsessed with buying all billion rounds of ammo if you don't have a good way to filter water or stuff like that, and a gym membership, guys. Okay, if you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon. It is only $5 a month. Helmet State Armory is going to have the link in the description there, a sponsor for today's video. Check out that link. It gives a small kickback if you use the link. Check out their daily deal, as well as right to bear after you buy that weapon from Helmet State Armory. Use that the link down below. $11 a month for unlimited legal protection if you have to use that weapon in a self-defense shooting to protect your life or your family. Guys, thanks for being here. I enjoy making this content for y'all. There's going to be a bunch more videos on the way on the M9A4. We're testing it. We just hit 1,000 rounds yesterday on the gun, or over 1,000 rounds. Only one thing that's happened with the gun so far. Everything else has been amazing, but I don't want to spoil too much, guys. So stay tuned for a lot more Beretta M9 content in the future. But yeah, guys, thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Have a good week. Stay vigilant and get some freaking training in, guys. Cheers. Nothing discussed in today's video should be taken as legal advice or as a substitute for legal advice. Always remember the 4 rules of firearm safety. Treat your weapon as if it is loaded at all times. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you're ready to engage. Be aware of your target and its surroundings, and never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy. The Discord server is live. Get in there, get some gaming buddies and some buddies to train with. The Patreon is live. It is the only source of funding for the channel. If you're interested in it, get over there and check out the Patreon. We could sure use your help. Thanks.